Hello again, everyone. This is Aaron, and welcome back to Movie Blather, where I take some of your favorite movies and react to them for the first time. Today I'm reacting to Blade Runner 1982. Now, as a child of the 80s, I've seen, I'd say, most of the really well-known movies, either at the theater or most likely from the mid-80s on VHS, when we'd go to rent movies. Something the youngsters of today have no experience in doing. At any rate, for some reason, Blade Runner fell through the cracks. Never saw it, was never really familiar with it. In fact, I didn't even know Harrison Ford was the star in it until this sequel came out a few years ago, and I was shocked. And then looking it up, 1982 would have been Harrison Ford right in between Indiana Jones and then Return of the Jedi. So I mean, he would have been white hot at the time. So very interested. I've always been interested in this movie. I understand there's some really cool props and things, and from what I understand, it's set in the future. You know, we'll see how close they get. A lot of those '80s movies were pretty off, but we're going to find out. Thanks for joining me, and let's get going. Robot evolution, man, we were so big on this stuff in the 80s. Mike asked my question, if you were going to make robots basically to be slave labor or whatever, why would you make them look exactly like people? It seems a little creepy. Well, I guess the explosions are similar to modern era LA. Flying cars, you know, we didn't advance quite as fast as they thought we would 40, 50 years ago.
You're in a desert walking along in the sand, and all of a sudden you look down. What?
A desert.
You look down and you see a tortoise, Leon. It's crawling towards you.
Tortoise? What's that?
Leon's making it hard to get this test done.
But you're not helping.
What do you mean I'm not helping?
I mean you're not helping. Why is that, Leon?
I think Leon's gonna pop. I don't know how Leon got armed. Leon a replicant?
They don't advertise for killers in a newspaper. That was my profession. The charmer's name was Gaff. I'd seen him around. Bryant must have upped him to the Blade Runner unit.
Hiya, Dick.
Bryant?
I've got 4 skin jobs walking the streets.
Skin jobs?
And you're gonna spot them and you're gonna air them up.
I don't work here anymore.
Stop right where you are. You know the score, pal. You're not cops, you're little people.
Was that a threat?
No choice, pal.
What do they want out of the Tyrell Corporation?
Well, you tell me, pal. That's what you're here for. 6. Roy Batty. Incept date 2016. Combat model. Optimum self-sufficiency. This is Zora. She's trained for an off-world kick murder squad. The 4th skin job is Chris, a basic pleasure model.
The standard pleasure model, Daryl Hannah.
So they built in a fail-safe device.
Which is what?
For your lifespan.
I'm Rachel.
Deckard.
May I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Are we sure she's not a replicant too? She's quite wooden.
Have you ever retired a human by mistake?
No.
I want to see it work.
Where's the subject?
I want to see it work on a person. I want to see the negative before I provide you with a positive.
On you?
Try her.
I'm not so sure she'll pass. She's the most robotic woman I think I've ever seen.
Would you step out for a few moments? replicant.
Chris, how many questions does it usually take to spot you?
So I was right.
Suspect, I think.
Suspect? How can it not know what it is?
Commerce is our goal here at Tyrell. More human than.
She doesn't know she's a replicant. Wow.
I didn't know whether Leon gave Holden a legit address, but it was the only lead I had. And family photos? Replicants didn't have families either.
Did you get your precious photos? Someone was there.
Looks awfully cold in there. You ever have days where your office feels like that?
I just do eyes. Just eyes, just genetic design. I don't know answer.
Who does?
Tyler. He knows everything. Sebastian, he take you there?
Gross.
Where would we find this J.M. Sebastian?
So I waited. Let me help.
He seems a little on edge. This movie is so dank and dreary, dark. Turn some lights on.
It's me with my mother.
Yeah? Implants. Those aren't your memories. They're somebody else's. I'm sorry. Go home.
Yeah, he really hurt her feelings.
Tyrell really did a job on Rachel, right down to a snapshot of a mother she never had. Replicants weren't supposed to have feelings. Neither were Blade Runners. Leon's pictures had to be as phony as Rachel's.
I guess I'd be drinking a lot too if this was the reality of the city I was living in. Oh, there's Daryl Hannah, the pleasure replicant.
You forgot your bag. What's your name?
Pris,
Mine's J.F. Sebastian. You want to come in? Not really. I make friends. They're toys. My friends are toys. I make them.
Oh my God.
Evening, fellas.
Not creepy at all. And a future where there's only 20-watt light bulbs. Now, the voice control stuff, they nailed that.
Not fish. Snake scale.
Snake.
I can't imagine the smell in there.
Very few. How few? Look, my friend. Dr. Lewis is down in Prospector, Chinatown.
What the hell was in that drink?
Excuse me, Miss Salome. Can I talk to you for a minute? I'd like to check the dressing room, if I may.
For what?
For holes.
Holes?
She doesn't seem to mind him poking around her dressing room there at all. Just...
Get out of the way!
Man, they love neon in this town.
Decker. B-263-54.
So you can just shoot them and they'll die like people. Okay, well that's a good thing. I thought they'd be a little harder to kill.
Could learn from this guy, guy. He's a goddamn one-man slaughterhouse. That's what he is. 4 more to go. Go.
3. There's 3 to go.
He's got to kill Rachel and he's having a hard time with it.
Leon, how old am I? Nothing is worse than having an itch you can never scratch.
I agree.
Time to die.
What if I go north? Disappear? Would you come after me?
No, I will.
He's also very trusting of her, letting her rummage around the place while he sleeps. It's a little weird even for her. This is the creepiest place I've ever seen.
Hi, Roy.
Gosh. This is the guy that, Sebastian, this is the guy that created their minds. Oh my God.
Oh, Dr. Terrell? I've only beaten him once in chess. He's a genius.
Better if I talk to him in person.
You better come up, Sebastian.
I brought a friend.
Out of my jurisdiction, you...
I want more life. Fucker. What about EMS recombination?
We've already tried it. You were made as well as we could make you.
But not to last.
The light that burns twice as bright burns half as long. And you have burned so very, very brightly, Roy.
Well, if you can't live long, you might as well take some revenge.
I want you to go down there.
Okay, so he did kill Sebastian too. Yeah, put her down. Oh, God.
This is for Zora.
Oh.
This is for Pris.
I don't know what the hell he's doing. Oh.
Where are you going?
It's a great question. Where are you going?
Peaches!
Time to die.
I don't know why he saved my life. Maybe in those last moments he loved life more than he ever had before. All I could do was sit there and watch him die.
Rachel?
What's with the gun drawn? Suddenly he's not as trusting anymore.
Gaff had been there and let her live. 4 years, he figured. Tyrell had told me Rachel was special. No termination date. I didn't know how long we'd have together. Who does?
Okay, that was Blade Runner. I'll tell you, that movie was really, really nutso. It must have really blown their minds in 1982, which of course 40 years ago now. Overall, I thought special effects were pretty good, definitely for 1982, and the performances were good. I'll tell you something, after watching it, I just want to go outside in the Florida sun and just walk around in the daylight for a while. That was one of the darkest movies I've ever seen. It rained almost the entire movie. I just felt dirty and dank. They really set the tone for the movie. You can tell immediately the kind of movie it's going to be, but it was definitely Ridley Scott. When I saw that, almost, he had done Alien a few years before that, and the future is always dark, always dirty, especially in the 80s, where we were big on this robots are going to take over and kill us all kind of thing, but the future was always hell. As the generations go on, civilization tends to tear itself apart. So when we look at the future, we look at bad things. Now, the technology, interestingly, you have flying cars, yet you have computers that look like the computers of 1982. Kind of amusing. I did like the fact that he was speaking to give commands at his house there, which definitely is the kind of present we have now. But that was a really interesting movie. Totally unpredictable. I had no idea what was going to happen next, and I'm actually quite interested to see what they did with the sequel. Nearly 40 years later. I don't know if Ridley Scott directed the sequel or not. I'm gonna have to look that up. But also with kind of the modern day CGI, I'm kind of interested to see where in the world they took this story. One thing I wondered is that if the replicants had a 4-year lifespan and their lifespan was nearly up, what was the point of risking your life to go after and kill them? Maybe I missed that. And just wait a little while longer and they die on their own. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. I need sunlight. I need dry weather conditions and sunlight. I'm going to go outside in the lawn right now and run around. But hey, if you like this reaction, please like, please subscribe, please leave me a comment, and I'm looking forward to doing more of these as time goes on. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.